You know, these days, everyone says you can build full apps using AI. And yeah, there are tons of videos on YouTube about it. But when you actually try to follow those tutorials, they don't work. You get errors and the AI-built app is completely broken. So yes, AI makes things easier, only if you know the right tools and the right process. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video, step by step. Now, we're going to create the site in this video and convert it into an app in the next one. So we're going to build the site using 5 parts today. And the first one is setting up Firebase. Go to the Firebase console and click on Create a new Firebase project. Then add a name and unique ID for your project. Now, click Continue on all pages. And finally, click Create Project. Now, this is your project dashboard, and you can manage around 80% of your site work here. Now, for our app, we just need a few things. The first one is the web app. For that, click on the Add App button under your project name and choose Web App. Now, to register the app, just enter your site name and click Register. Now, this is your Firebase SDK for this project. This is what we put in our site code so the site can connect to our Firebase project easily. So copy this here. Now we're moving to our third step. For that, click on Build in the sidebar and choose Firestore Database. Now click on Create Database and click on Next. Now this is the most important part for the database. The location must be your exact city or your nearest city. This is because if you add a farther city, your users will have to wait a few seconds for the database to reach your site. So I'm choosing my nearest city. Now, starting in production mode is recommended. Finally, click on Create and wait a bit while Firebase builds your database. Okay, now here's your database. Now finally, we should enable authentication. Authentication handles your users' logins and signups securely. To enable it, click on Build in the sidebar again and choose Authentication. Now click Get Started. We are going to use email/password and Google Sign-In for my site. So first choose email/password. Just follow my steps. Now click on Add New Provider to add Google Sign-In. Now you should add a support email to enable Google Sign-In, so I'm just using the email I'm using for Firebase. Now we are done with the Firebase setup, but do not close this page because we have to come back again to set up Firestore rules. Now we're moving to the second part, and it's building with Gemini. Now go to ChatGPT and tell it all the details, pages, and features of your site, and tell it to create a Gemini prompt for the whole site. It will give you a prompt like this. Copy the prompt from ChatGPT and search for Google AI Studio in Chrome. Click on Build AI Apps. Now, paste the prompt you copied from ChatGPT here and hit enter. And it will start to build the site. Gemini 3 is the model building the site here, so I'll call it Gemini from here on. Now it asks for camera permission by default. It's not a problem to worry about, so just allow it. Now here is our site, but we didn't connect our site with our Firebase project yet, right? So to do it, just type something like use this Firebase project for auth, DB, and etc., and paste the code we copied from Firebase. But if you don't have it now, just go to the Firebase dashboard, click on the settings icon in the sidebar, and click General. Then scroll down to the bottom and you'll find it there. This is called the Firebase SDK. After pasting it to Gemini, just hit enter and Gemini will edit the files for you. Now let's test it.
I'll enter an email and a password.
But you can see I've got an error. That's because even if you connect Firebase to your site can't just save data on Firebase because the Firestore database has a thing called Firestore rules. These are to make sure hackers and your site users can't access your database. Now, in production mode, Firebase blocks all access to the database by default, meaning no one, even you, can access the database by default. But the good news is, as the owner of the Firebase project, we can change it. So to do that, first ask Gemini to give me Firestore rules, and it'll create a rules file for you. Click on that file and copy this code. Now go to the Firebase dashboard again, click Firestore Database on the sidebar, and click on Rules. Now delete the existing rules and paste the code you copied from Gemini. Now let's go back to Gemini and test the site again. Now the auth works, but you can see we've got another error. Now this is an index error. But don't worry, an index is just a simple shortcut for your database. Think of it like a map or a search filter that Firebase uses to find your data instantly. By default, Firebase can search one thing at a time, but when your site tries to do something complex, like searching for a user's email and their specific posts at the same time, it needs a special map called a composite index to find that data. Without this index, Firebase gets confused and blocks the request for safety. The error we see is just Firebase telling us, hey, I need a map to find this specific data for you. So to fix this error, just copy the link in the error in Gemini and paste it into any browser search bar. Now Firebase will ask you to log in to verify it's you, so log in with the email you are using for Firebase and click Save. Now wait until Firebase creates this index. Now go back to Gemini, reload the site preview, and test the site again. See, it works perfectly now. If you return to the Firestore database, the data will be displayed like this. So click Download to download the site codes. Now we're moving to the fourth part, adding a favicon to our site. Now extract the zip file downloaded from Gemini. Now we should create a favicon for our site. A favicon is simply that tiny icon you see on your browser tab, right next to the website's title. It's a small but important detail that makes your site look professional and branded. Instead of a boring default globe icon, a favicon gives your site its own unique stamp so users can recognize it easily among all their open tabs. To create one, go back to your browser and search for favicon and click this first link. Now you can choose what you want here. PNG to ICO means if you have a logo as a PNG, you can turn that into a favicon. Also, you can make a favicon with text or emojis. Now I'll just choose text to icon. Choose your text, background like rounded, circle, or square, and they also have over 1,000 fonts, so you can choose what you want. After you are done designing the icon, just click Download. Now scroll down this page and you'll find this code. This code shows the favicons on our site, so copy this one. Now go back to your project folder, which was downloaded and extracted from AI Studio. Now right-click on the index.html file in the Open With tab, choose Visual Studio Code or your code editor, and paste the exact code you've copied from favicon.io. Now it must be pasted inside the head tag of the index.html file, most likely before the style tag. Hit Save after pasting. Now go to your download folder and extract the folder named favicon.io or something like that. Inside it, you'll see around 8 files. Copy them and paste them into your main project folder.
Don't worry, the favicon is optional and just adds a professional touch. If you're stuck, just skip this step and jump to the last part, hosting.
Now we're going to the last part, to host this site. Now, this is the final step, and we're going to host this site. To do that, go to your browser and search for netlify.com and click Get Started. Now click Browse to upload here and upload your files. And here you can see Netlify is building our site. Okay, now the site is hosted, but we should change the URL. So go to Project Preview, click Quick Setup, and choose a name for your site. Now we can access our site with this link. And that's it. We have successfully created and hosted a fully functional site. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to host this on Firebase and turn it into a mobile app.